Hi everyone, my name is Helen. I'm from the beautiful Port Stephens, New South Wales, Australia, and I am an ink artist using alcohol inks. Today I just thought I'd show you one of the techniques that I like to use. This is my paper. I'm using Yupo paper, and I don't know if you can really see this. You can actually see some images that I've put here that I've actually used masking fluid to wipe them out. That's already dried. And so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to cover the whole paper with the alcohol ink wash. I've got a few colours that I've already selected here. I'm using the Copic inks. These are the refills. And this one is a Spanish olive. Also have pale blue, yellow ochre, a rose salmon, and a pumpkin yellow. So you just got to think about your colour placement here, what I am going to try to do. I don't necessarily want them to mix up too much, I just want patches of colour. So of course fading through the centre and maybe behind the flowers, maybe we'll do some shadows, we'll see. So I'm going to start with two tones in the centre. I'm going to use a lot of alcohol first. I use the isopropyl alcohol, so this will just help the inks move. This is the whole process, so it's a layering that I do. Now I'm just going to mix it a bit. Let's go for it. No, I think I'll fade that out. Okay, so it's quite thick. May as well move that around a bit. Yep. Love yellow ochre. One of my favourite tones, colours. Oh, a bit more alcohol on that side. Just getting ahead of myself. You can be really free with this. Well, you've got to be really free with this, because the alcohol is actually in charge. Oh, no comment. So, okay, need to get some more blue back in there. It's no day colour in itself. Wow, as you can hear, up here it's really windy today, and all the bits that you can hear are my juniper berry tree, the nuts falling off it as the fruit has already come and gone. Okay, so blue. Up. Just clean your brush a bit. It's not very clear, so I'm going to do a bit down the bottom here too, so we can just get that true blue. True blue. Thinking, finishing with the yellow ochre. I have a straw, big one, little one, and these are really, really good tools if you just want to play with the inks a little bit. I'll move them around a bit and see what happens. What I am planning on is that some of these inks will stain the paper, so I'll actually be able to blow most of them off. And you can see underneath here, under the green, which was the Spanish olive, that there is quite a good blue tone. So let's see what happens. Put some more alcohol here to help me get these really off. So this is what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to continue to dab and blow a lot of it off. I sort of won't bore you with these details. I'm hopefully going to pause this and then I'll come back to you when I'm happy with my result. Okay, so I've actually poured the alcohol over it and blown a lot of it off. I'll take this up and just give you an aerial view, I hope. And just sort of see what the great effects are. Now I'm going to let that dry. Alright guys, so this is how it's come out. So the background has dried. I've taken all the masking fluid off. You can see I've left a few dribbles there, but I really sort of like that. Sort of breaks it up a bit. I don't want to put a lot of colour into the flowers. What I'm going to use, the colours I am going to use is a dark red. Again, I'm going to use the rose salmon, and I'm also going to use a Lionel gold, which is sort of like a willow sort of khaki sort of colour. I'm going to sort of colour some of the petals quite heavily, and I will be doing that by dropping a little bit of ink at the beginning of each petal and letting that dry, and then I'm actually going to take it up using a bit of alcohol ink into the tip of the flower. I will show you that in a second. I am going to try to pause this again. Fingers crossed it works this time. Okay, so here is one that I've just started to form up, one of the flowers. As I said, just using sort of strong colours and then bleeding them out with a little bit of alcohol. You can keep your design, whether it be flowers or whatever it may be, paler or darker, like it depends on your background. You can also wash still a lot of this colour out of this background by pouring alcohol on it and letting it drop off into a rag. So it's just completely up to you. So just have a fiddle and keep playing, and when I've done my finished product and maybe when I've got it in the frame, I'll show you how it all turns out. Alright, here we are again, back with the finished product. So I'll just go through a few things like what I've done. I've done the dribbles here, just getting a little bit of alcohol with some of your ink and just using an eyedropper, so it just gets that down to the page. I've reinforced the stem and the leaves there so we don't sort of lose that feature, and just using like cotton wool buds and things like that, so dipped in alcohol and taking them out. It just gives you a little bit more control when you do it that way. Also, I don't know if you can see an example of sort of dropping a colour in, you know, like I had a drop of colour here and I've just extended it up, and I've dropped that in using a really fine paintbrush. So because otherwise if you use your ink containers etc, you end up with such a big blob, and it's not what you want. So anyway, have a fiddle and a play. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this now. I'm thinking of just having a multi-picture mat on the top of it and framing it that way instead of having it as a whole. So as I say, give it a try. It's really good fun.